Hello guys, welcome back to the Arcade Cuba. Have you ever wanted to solve the clock faster without any calculations or memorizations and still be good? Well, here come to the right place. Today I'm going to teach you a method of solving the clock that does not need any calculation or memorization. It is called the 10 move Memoless. Now let's get straight into it. Okay, this is the scramble. The scramble will be on the screen right now. Feel free to pause the video to do this one. So this tutorial, I will do this tutorial thinking that you already know the basic clock techniques like the beginner method where you solve the cross of clocks on both ends and that you know basic clock notation which is on screen at the moment. Okay, now for 10 more memoless, for the first step of 10 more memoless, we need just the down right clock uh, on or sticking up. Then we move this clock to join this clock at the top. So minus 2. Then we move this clock to join this clock. So top left plus 2. Then we solve the cross as normal. So what I would do here is keep the top right pin up and do a plus 6, top left pin up a plus 5, and both top pins up a minus 4. We have the clock. Now normally in the beginner's method you would do something like this to keep all the points, all the clocks facing the 12, but you don't need to do that. You can just let it like that. Then normally in the beginner's method we would do a y2 rotation like this, but here in 10 move memoless we would do an x2 rotation, so something like this. Then we would keep the top down right pin up and do the same. So connect this, move this clock so it reaches the position of this clock. So you can see, then move this clock to reach the position of this clock with a plus minus 1. Then we should keep only the top left pin up. Then we can use, we have to move this pin so it become move this clock here so it reaches the position of this clock, in which you can use the top right pin here and do a minus 1 2 4 minus 4. Now we can solve the clock cross like normal. Put this pin down and put the top right pin up and make this block so we can start off with the cross. Then the top left pin, move to this part here. Then we have an almost complete cross. Now keep both the top pins up and finish off the cross. Now we keep all the pins except this one on top, but in this case we don't need to do that as it's a we got a skip and both of these clocks are facing the same direction. So we keep these two pins up, so the top left and bottom right, and the top right and bottom left are down. So first we would, for the top left pin, we would move it to the 12, as the 12 is facing down we would do this, and the same for the bottom top right. Now if we flip the cube, we can see that the clock is solved. Now remember when I told you we had a skip in one of the cases? So this is how it would look without a skip. You can see that both of these clocks are not facing the same direction. So what we would do is keep all the pins except the bottom left pin on on top, and we would make sure that this clock comes to the position of this clock here. So in this case it's a plus 6. Now you can see that both these clocks are on the same position. So now we put the top right pin down, move these clocks to the 12 o'clock mark, and with with our left one we do a minus 2 so that these clocks also face 12. Now if we see that side, we can see that the clock is solved. Now thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and if you want more tutorials, remember to comment on what tutorials you want. And thank you for helping us reach 100 plus subscribers. See you later. Bye.